Hi there, and welcome to another Sunny Days podcast. I'm your host, Jolly, and today we've got some more uplifting stories, some more Did You Know? So grab a cup of sunshine and let's get started. First up today, well, we've got two stories sent in from two viewers and or two listeners, and both involve two incredible people. So first up, Mr. Logan and a special visit. Well, Mr. Logan's a 99-year-old granddad who's had a lot to deal with recently. After the passing of his beloved wife, the grandfather found himself struggling with grief and the challenge of continuing without her. Initially, he fell into a routine of watching TV all day, feeling disconnected and uninterested in life. However, with encouragement from his family, he slowly began to re engage in the world around him. However, his big turning point came when his granddaughter, who had always been close to him, started visiting more frequently. They resumed their old tradition of playing dominoes together, which reignited his competitive spirit and brought back youthful memories. Over time, he even surprised his family by cooking meals and taking up old hobbies like gardening. His granddaughter noticed that he seemed lighter and more at peace, and even rediscovering his love for cooking by hosting family dinners. The story shows how important it is to stay connected with loved ones and to find joy in small activities, no matter how old you are. It's a beautiful reminder that life can be filled with purpose and happiness at any age. And now, a story from Florida about a Miss Evelyn Stone, a 94-year-old widow. She's rediscovered her passion for life through ballroom dancing. After her husband had passed away, Evelyn felt lost and isolated, spending most of her days alone at home. Her granddaughter Lisa, who has always been very close to her grandma, knew how much her grandmother loved dancing in her younger years and suggested that she join a local seniors dance group. Well, Miss Evelyn was kind of hesitant at first, believing, really quite frankly, she was just too old to start dancing again. However, that granddaughter Lisa persisted, even offering to accompany her for the first few classes. Well, to her grandma Evelyn's surprise, she quickly fell in love with dancing all over again. The rhythm of the music and the joy of moving both brought back memories of her youth and filled her with a newfound sense of purpose. Evelyn soon became a regular at the dance hall, forming friendships with other seniors who shared her passion. She even participated in local dance competitions where her energy and grace earned her several accolades. Her story became well known in her community, and she was often invited to speak at events to inspire others. Evelyn's credits dancing with giving her a reason to get out of bed each morning, and she says it has added years to her life. She believes that staying active and connected with others is the key to happiness at her age. Her story has inspired many others to pursue their passions, no matter their age. And this is another beautiful story that it's never too late to rediscover joy and the purpose in life, even when you're older. You're never too young, never too old. All right, now how about a happy birthday shout out? Well, in the heart of Ohio, identical twin sisters Marilyn Bright and Madeline Casper recently celebrated an extraordinary milestone, their 102nd birthday, born September the 15th. These sisters have shared a lifetime of memories, laughter, and love. Despite living in different cities for much of their lives, Marilyn and Madeline remained incredibly close. They both raised large families with a combined total of 13 children and always found time to support each other. As they aged, their bond only grew stronger. Marilyn, with her sharp hearing, became Madeline's ears, while Madeline, with her keen eyesight, became Marilyn's eyes. On their 102nd birthday, surrounded by family and friends, the twins reflected on their journey. They reminisced about their childhood adventures, the challenges they faced, and the joys they had experienced. Their secret to a long and happy life? Kindness. Be kind to your neighbor. Just show kindness. Don't hate, Marilyn said. The word hate should be out of the dictionary. And they both advised that. Their story is a testament to the power of love and family and positive outlook on life. Marilyn and Madeline's enduring bond and wisdom continue to inspire everyone around them. Their message is simple yet profound. In a world that can often be harsh, kindness and love are the keys to a fulfilling life. As the celebration continued, the twins enjoyed the company of their loved ones, sharing stories and laughter. Their lives, filled with the resilience and compassion, serve as a beautiful reminder of the strength, human spirit, and the importance of cherishing the moments we have with those we love. And now, how about a jolly chat story we'll call Autumn's Delight? Well, near a little town, there was a giant pumpkin patch known as Autumn's Delight. Every October, families from near and far would visit to pick the perfect pumpkins for their Halloween celebrations. The patch was famous for its vibrant orange pumpkins, each one seemingly more perfect than the last. Well, one crisp autumn morn, a young girl named Lena and her little brother Max set out to their parents to visit Autumn's Delight. The air was filled with the sweet scent of hay and the sound of leaves crunching underfoot. As they arrived, Lena's eyes widened with excitement at the sight of the endless rows of pumpkin. Let's find the biggest pumpkin ever, Max exclaimed, running ahead. Lena laughed and followed him, weaving through the rows of pumpkins. They searched high and low, inspecting each pumpkin carefully. Some were tall, some were slender, others were short and round. Each pumpkin seemed to have its own personality. After a while, they stumbled upon a particularly large pumpkin nestled under a golden leaf tree. It was perfectly round and had a deep, rich orange color. This is the one, Lena declared, and Max nodded in agreement. With the help of their parents, they carefully lifted the pumpkin and placed it in their wagon. As they made their way back to the entrance, they passed by other families, all enjoying the magic of the pumpkin patch. There were children laughing, parents taking photos, and even a friendly scarecrow waving from the corner. Back home, Lena and Max spent the afternoon carving their pumpkin. They gave it a big, toothy grin and placed a candle inside. As the sun set and the sky turned a deep shade of purple, they lit the candle and watched as their pumpkin glowed warmly on the porch. That night, as they drifted off to sleep, Lena and Max dreamed of their adventure at Autumn's Delight. They knew that the memories they made that day would stay with them forever, and they couldn't wait to return next year to find another perfect pumpkin. The end. And now, how about some fun facts for this wonderful month of October? Well, how about the origin of the word October? It gets its name from the Latin word octo, meaning 8. This is because it was the 8th month in the ancient Roman calendar. And what about the birthstones? Well, in October, they are opal and tourmaline. Opals are known for their stunning play of colors, and tourmalines, I think I'm saying that right, come in a wide variety of colors. And in the United States, October is recognized as the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, highlighting the importance of breast cancer awareness, education, and research. And October, and did you know this about October? I bet. October is famous for its beautiful fall foliage in the Northern Hemisphere. The leaves change from vibrant colors like red, orange, and yellow, creating picturesque landscapes. And the big Halloween October is Halloween time, a holiday where people dress up in costumes, they go trick-or-treating, enjoy spooky decorations and activities. And then there's Oktoberfest. Did you know, despite its name, most of the famous German festival, Oktoberfest, actually takes place in September and ends in the first weekend of October. It's a massive celebration of beer, food, and Bavarian culture. All right, and what about some historical events? Well, did you know that October has seen many significant historical events? For example, in October 1492, Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas, marking the beginning of the widespread European exploration. And that these days, sometimes there's a lot more to history to add to that. Do you have a favorite fact or something specific you enjoy about history? Let us know. And now, in entertainment this week, how about just kind of a general overall big picture view? Here are the top 10 grossing films of all time. So we're going to start with the 1950s and we're going to come current. So in 1950, top film, Ben-Hur. 1959, Ben-Hur. In the 1960s, there was The Sound of Music. 1965, The Sound of Music. And in the 1970s, Star Wars. 1977, Star Wars. And E.T. the Terrestrial came along in the 80s at 1982. In 1997, it was Titanic. And Avatar reached out in 2000. 2010s, The Avengers, The Endgame, 2019. And in 2020s, Avatar. Boy, Avatar's made its hit a couple times. Avatar, The Way of Water, 2022. Top grossing films. Good stuff, good music, a good movie. Okay, for music entertainment today. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we did a little thing on rock and roll, and that seemed to be a likable sort of thing. So I thought we'd do just a quick little couple of minute overview on the history of country music. So it's not in depth, kind of just a little glaze over it, but let's take a look. Country music is a genre that reflects the rural traditions and stories of American life. With its roots dating back to the early 20th century, it blends elements of folk, western, and blues music originating primarily in the southern United States. Well, if we kind of go back to the 20s and 30s here, country music's origins lie in folk songs that were brought over by immigrants from the British Isles, particularly in the Appalachian region. Now, these songs told stories of everyday life, hardship, love, faith, and often accompanied by instruments like the fiddle, the banjo, and guitar. The genre began to take shape in the 1920s when traditional sounds met the commercial recording industry. In 1927, the Bristol Sessions, often called the Big Bang of country music, introduced the world of the Carter family and Jimmie Rodgers. The Carter family brought a harmony-rich sound that emphasized strong melodies, while Jimmie Rodgers, known as the father of country music, blended folk with blues and yodeling, creating a unique style that would influence countless artists. Well, then let's go on up to the 40s and the 50s and the real rise of country music. The 40s and the 50s saw country music evolve in a more commercial and widely recognized genre. The post-World War II era brought about honky-tonk music, characterized by its electric guitar and piano accompaniment, which gave it more rhythmic and danceable sounds. Artists like Hank Williams became the face of honky-tonk, with songs like Your Cheatin' Heart and I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, becoming timeless classics. True that. His music, marked by its raw emotion and simplicity, resonated deeply with listeners and laid the foundation for modern country music. During this time, the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville became the genre's most influential platform, broadcasting live performances of country music across the nation. Nashville subsequently emerged as the epicenter of country music, earning it the nickname of Music City. Let's move up a little to the 60s and the 80s. In the 1960s, the Nashville sound emerged, a smoother style of country music designed to appeal to a broader audience. This style featured lush string arrangements and background vocals, moving away from the rougher kind of honky tonk sound. Artists like Patsy Cline and Jim Reeves were the forefront of this movement. With the crossover hits, they blurred the lines between country and pop music. And then by the 70s and the 80s, we saw the rise of the outlaw country, a subgenre that rejected the polished Nashville sound in favor of the grittier, more rebellious kind of style. Artists like Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash led this music, bringing country music back to its raw roots, oriented, original raw roots. This era also saw the growth of country rock, with bands like the Eagles blending country and rock music to create a sound that appealed to both genres of music. And then leading into a more modern country through the 90s, they ushered in a new era of country. It was dominated by artists like Shania Twain, Tim McGraw, who brought the genre unprecedented commercial success. And today, country music continues to evolve with a mix of traditional sounds and modern influences. Artists like Carrie Underwood, Luke Bryan, Chris Stapleton blend elements of pop, rock, and even hip hop, reflecting the genre's broadening appeal. Despite these changes, country music remains deeply connected to its roots, continuing to tell the stories of life, love, and heartache. The history of country music shows how the genre has grown from its rural roots into a major force in the global music industry, all while maintaining its connections to the experiences and emotions of everyday life. And there's a couple minute talk on country music. So as we come to the close of today's episode, let us remember that the stories we've shared can serve as a reminder of the goodness that surrounds us every day. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So find your beauty, shine, and share it. Remember to spread love, joy, and positivity whenever and wherever you go. We'll see you next week for some more stories, entertainment, and fun facts. Until then, peace and love always. And thank you for tuning in to the Sunny Days podcast.